All right, let's stay with education and go to that issue that started in the latter part of last week. We know that senior high school pupils were, sent across the country to their various schools that they chose through the computerized placement system. But then some challenges arose where some of the schools said they had more than they told the GES that they could accommodate. Let's find out from the GES what goes into the disbursement of the numbers of pupils who go to these various schools, and then the other considerations as to the quota system. If, for instance, maybe Otumfuo Setutu has a number that he can send to a particular school, what considerations does the GES make before they give someone like the Otumfuo a number? We have been joined in studio by the Public Relations Officer for the Ghana Education Service, Reverend Jonathan Bette, and he's going to be having that interview with us. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon.
To begin with, what are some of the comments that you have heard with regard to, for instance, Wesley Girls and the total excess number of students that were sent there?
Well, I can tell you that it's the comments we receiving almost every day, except yesterday and today, were coming from schools that received candidates that they have complained that are more than they could take. And we have also received comments from some headmasters as in accommodation issues and how they're going to solve those issues. But as at yesterday and today, the place is calm, meaning that problems are solved.
Okay. What were the problems that were, your attention was drawn to? What were some of the major problems?
That's what I'm saying, that placement center, they are using a mechanism which will give who is to go to a particular school depending upon the raw score of the candidate. There are a lot of people who rush to various schools whose raw score are below the expected ones in those particular, we call them well-endowed, in quote, well-endowed school. And some also went to those places without considering that people are sent to the school on merit. If you have particular total number of, the score, you'll be sent to that place. But there are some people who were claiming that my ward has 7 ones, my ward has 8 ones, and has not been placed. It's because the understanding was not there. And we are praying that next year we will give more education into this to avoid all these things. Some people had mathematics 75, which could be 1. But somebody had 90 over 100, which is also 1. So when we are considering that as 1, now it goes across all the subjects that they have written. Now, if you don't get a placement at your first choice, there are some people who wanted to go to a particular choice that you have chosen as a second choice.
Right.
Second choice. But I have chosen that place as my first choice. And that first choice also, a lot of candidates go there. So I, as the headmaster of the placement center, we have to make sure that we make provision for the first choice candidates before the second choice. By the time you considering me as a second choice school for you, the first choice school for somebody is full up. You will go there and sit down and be begging. And there are other categories of people who went to other schools without selecting the places for their first, second, third, and fourth. They just went to that place, pleading with the headmistresses that, no, have been sent to this particular school. I don't want it. Can you help me? For 2 days, we've heard that some people were sleeping there begging. Begging for accommodation, which could not be, it's not easy.
Acceptable.
So the GS and the Ministry of Education is going through these challenges, and we see how best we can resolve these issues to enable our little children, who are the future leaders of this nation, get placed to study.
But do you think that the Ghana Education Service, and by extension the various secondary schools that we have in the country, have enough accommodation to absorb all these candidates when you place them?
Yes, we are coming from this point of view that Ghana Education Service, for that matter, government has made provision for us to move from 4-year to 3-year. you have in your house 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms. Let's say 4 bedrooms in your house. Now, your auntie is dead. There's nobody in that room. You are now having 3 bedrooms. What happened to the 4th bedroom where your auntie died? Somebody must go to that room to occupy that place. You understand? Now, we are appealing to headmasters that the provisions that the government has made, for that matter, we GS implementing that policy for the Ministry of Education, we are pleading that that leftover classroom could also be managed. Now, when we talk about the classrooms, it's not only the classrooms alone. We have the bedrooms, how do you call it, boarding house or facilities also, where about 1,000 students were in a particular school. Now that it is 3 years, the number has either reduced. So those provisions could be made for management. You understand? Now, we have also considered the fact that if a teacher has sent, a headmaster has sent a quota of 300, I wanted 300 candidates for this subject and other subject, and we have added 10, just 10 or 20 to it. That 10 or 20 could be managed. I'm telling you, if a classroom is taking 35 or 40, and they have added 10 to make it 50, why not?
You should be able to manage.
It should be able to manage, because we are in a crossroad. We are just on the crossroad in a crucial moment, which we have to solve the problems of our students, future leaders, and parents.
Right.
Parents are going left and right, disheartened.
My last 2 questions would be, first, you said that you're going to be educating who? The pupils or the parents who sometimes just carry them from home and take them to those
what happened here is that we normally educate both parents and students.
Right.
That is candidates. When they have selected their schools, before the selection time due, we invite candidates with their parents. You realize that these parents, some will not come. I'm telling you, some will not respect that order from the headmasters that come and be educated, help your child in selection of this particular school or program. We see that we know the children, teachers know the children more than even their parents. Let me tell you, because they are always with their teachers. Now, so we wanted the parents to be part of this so that they will also understand what goes into it. Placement, as far as placement is concerned. So when we call, it's only the student, and the student does whatever pleases them. Now, it is difficult for a child now, let me tell you, morally, to tell the father or the mother that this is what I have done. I'm saying the truth. Papa, this is what I've done, or mommy, I have done this. They will say, I didn't do it, I did it. When you trace the fact, you go to the headmaster in the GSS and realize that this word or this candidate has selected this. But telling the mother, sometimes
a different thing.
Sometimes you see the children looking at the headmaster's face in front of their parents that I tell lies and all these things. So parents too are not getting the fact that they needed the education from the schools before the selection. And they wanted particular schools. That is my worry and the worry of GES. We have well-endowed schools more than necessary. Some that they consider that are less endowed are doing very well. We have the same teachers that our children should be spread all over.
Concluding this conversation, we have also been told that some foreign in quote, like Nigerian and some countries who have students come and want to go into our secondary schools. Has any of these concerns come to the notice of Ghana Education Service, and how are you working around this?
Well, let me tell you, I'm not hearing this from you.
Right.
If there should be or there has been an issue of that, it means that they have been admitted in the school.
Okay.
If it is GSS, they have been admitted from Form 1, Form 2, and are qualified to write BEC. And if they have rating and they have passed, why not? We are Africans.
Okay. And then finally, the issue of placement and then quota systems. We know, for instance, some of the mission schools have some percentage of pupils they are allowed to bring in, maybe old students association and all of that. How does that fit into the placement system when the Ghana Education Service is making its placement?
Well, I want to prepare your mind to understand this fact that if we have anything of that sort, it doesn't mean that the people should have any grade at all or rock score at all, and then they are allowed to enter into the school, that because they are from old boys, they are from wherever they are coming from. Now, GS has made provision for what we call 30% catchment area. Okay. 30%. Now, so these people are also included in the 30% catchment area that we, or the provision that we have made. So, and for all you know, they are just few. Some people don't even want it their area. They want to go far away, so that when they come back, they say, oh, Kojo is back from school, and go and then bring Kojo's luggage and other things. So the 30% catchment area make provision for whatever assistance that somebody may demand from the school as old student or a prominent person. We make sure that it comes within this 30%.
Okay, so the 30% is not for only the catchment area, but if the school says we have people who we should give some priority to, they fall within that 30%?
Yeah, there's a percentage that is given. Yeah, okay. If we are dealing with 30, maybe 14% is coming from here, 12% is coming from here, and 1% to make provision for that requirement. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for enlightening us and then letting us know what your side of the story is. We've been speaking with Reverend Jonathan Bette. He is the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Education Service.